The hunt we're going to be watching today is one of my most fun, memorable, and action-packed turkey hunts of all time. We're going to be taking a look back to April 17th, 2023, and this was the opening day of the Missouri spring turkey season. So my dad and I have this tradition. We've had this tradition for the last 10 years where on opening day every single year we hunt this same property together. He usually goes to the south side of his property and I usually go to the north side of the property. That's exactly what we did this year as well. We got there a little late, the birds were already gobbling, and I knew about where they're roosted. They usually roost there every year for the most part, and it's along a creek in the woods but overlooking a big bottom field. So I used the darkness to try to cut across this field, get set up in the wood line about where I think these birds are probably going to fly down. Unfortunately, there ended up being no toms with this group, and it was just 3 jakes and some hens. And I watched them strut around this field for close to an hour. After watching these jakes move off, I decided to get up and try another side of the property and see if I could strike something up. After not getting anything fired up on the property, I ended up meeting up with my dad, and he didn't have any luck either. So him and I got in the truck and we decided to go try a couple other spots that we had permission to hunt on. And we ended up pulling to this field and we can't see over this little knoll. So we decided to get out of the truck, start walking, and we're walking along this fence row, and I just happened to see a fan on the other side of this knoll about 100 yards out. So after calling, we were getting this bird to respond, but he wasn't committing or anything. We figured he was probably with some hens we couldn't see, so we decided our best bet to try to bag this bird would be to reap him. So my dad got out our reap fan and he started crawling, and I decided I was just going to film and just see how this whole situation would play out. This tom wasn't coming to the reaping fan, but my dad stayed persistent and kept following these turkey up another hill, probably 200 to 300 yards away, and I had a front row seat to watch it all unfold, hoping my dad gets close enough to get a shot.
Turkey, dad, cows. Let's see how this plays out. Greetings, bud. Get him.
So after lots of anticipation and watching my dad crawl hundreds of yards, he finally gets atop this hill, and I can tell he's closing the distance on this bird quite a bit. And he ends up getting 20 to 30 yards and lets off a shot and unfortunately misses. And the bird kind of sticks around and he tries to get another shot off, but unfortunately the gun would just not go off. I don't know if it ended up being a firing pin issue or what, but unfortunately that bird lived to see another day.
I thought the hen was gonna bust, but she was
I know, they were like-
the hens were.
So what happened?
I'd call a little bit. It wouldn't shoot after the set. I was gonna shoot.
I was
again.
wondering why you didn't shoot
and
again.
I jacked the shell. No, wouldn't shoot. See, there's one that I tried to shoot. There's a.
Oh, you hit him?
What would that be? That'd be tail. So it's high, right? That looks like chest or.
Yeah, I think you're good. I think those are tail feathers. Man, I thought for sure.
Slug. So did I thought he was mine.
So my dad and I decided to go back to the house and grab a bite to eat. And there was an hour left before season closed for the day, which is at 1 p.m. So my dad decided to stay home, but I decided to go check one more field that wasn't too far from my house. And as I'm driving past this field, sure enough, I see two toms out there strutting. And the way this property is set up is a top field, which these toms were in, and there's a bottom field. And I knew that I could go through this bottom field, kind of work my way up this tree line towards the top field, and get set up right below this top field. And that's exactly what I did. I put out a hen decoy, found a good spot to set, and started calling. And sure enough, I see two toms come out of these woods walking towards my setup. These toms were clearly interested in my calling and hen setup, as they're slowly but surely making their way my direction. They end up getting about 100 yards out and they're hung up. They're looking leery, and I'm thinking to myself, is this going to happen? And is this going to happen before 1 p.m.? But out of nowhere, I ended up having a hen come into my setup. She was very curious and interested in this hen decoy I had setting out, and she came right into my setup. And once those toms saw that, they came in on a string, strutting, and it was game over after that. So I have never killed a turkey with beard rot before, but this Tom has beard rot. Got blonde tips on his beard. Just thought that was pretty cool. I've never killed one like that. I've seen it before in pictures and stuff, but I just thought that was pretty cool. Probably a little under an inch spurs, but I'm happy with him. Cool little Tom. I was using the honey hole dirt nap. This is my favorite call from honey hole. This is what I was using whenever we worked these two toms in. What an exciting opening day. Talk about taking it down to the wire. Here in Missouri, you are not allowed to hunt after 1 p.m. during spring turkey season. So we really were cutting it close with that one. Ended up bagging that bird around 12:45, 12:50, and it really did come down to the wire. Very fun, action-packed, memorable hunt. The only way that hunt could have ended any better is if my dad would have tagged a bird as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and God bless.